Okay, the first thing I want to do is go to the store, bring up the store, go up here and just type in Atari. And if you type in just Atari, you're probably not going to find this. There's the movie right there about Atari. Type in 2600, for example, and we do a search. And you'll see some other stuff there, but there's the emulator 7800. And we're going to use that one because the emulation for 2600 is built into that. So don't click on any of these other ones. Click on the EMU 7800. And we're going to go ahead and skip the installation here. So it comes with an impressive set of ROMs or games already, but let's find some more. We're going to go to Atari Age. Type in Atari 2600 ROMs actually. And the first thing you should see here is the Atari Age website. Go here. There's a ton of stuff here. Now we're going to go ahead and just do Donkey Kong search here. But you can type in any name you want. You can browse through it alphabetically. But here's the Donkey Kong ones. And if we go over here, we see it's made by Atari, and there's one also by Coleco as well. Now if you go to the far right to the profile, you'll actually jump to that page for that particular ROM. And if we click on the image here, we'll see some actual screenshots. But mainly if you come back, and it'll tell you if it's scarce or not on the rating they have, what NSC, NTSC, all that. You can go here and you actually look at what the original cartridge looked like. And go back, and here's what's good about it is that there's an HTML actual text that you can copy and paste and save that gives you the instructions. So if you want that, every game you go to, you go here, copy all these down, save them to a text file, and so you have them for when you're playing the game. The box scan is the actual physical cardboard box. They always looked a lot better than what the game did. And by the way, it's by Nintendo, so buy Atari, buy Nintendo for the Atari console. We'll go back here. Again, the screenshots we just looked at a minute ago. But when we go down here and you click on the little icon, the Pac-Man icon, you click on that and say download. Oh, by the way, there's some more information here. Some of these links may be broken. You know, catalogs are no longer in existence. But if we go to downloads, say save as. Now I'm already in my Atari 2600 ROM directory, so I'm just going to say save. And it's saved there. Now if I open it, and here's all the ones I have here, I can just go to the Donkey Kong, right click on it, and say extract all. It's going to create a Donkey Kong directory. Say extract. Boom, there it is. And there's the dk.bin file. I'll move it to my ROMs, and sure enough, I already had it. I want to skip this, but you'll just be putting it into your ROM directory. And there it is there. Oh, see, there's Donkey Kong Jr. behind, just underneath it. So, there we have it. There is the Donkey Kong download. Okay, so here we're back over here at the emulator itself. We're going to click on the search button here. And it's telling you here that here's going to import ROMs. If we click, you'll see I happen to be in the same place, but you have to find where you saved it at. Now you can go down and go to the one you want, but it doesn't really matter because no matter the top one, the bottom one, if you click anywhere in here, it's going to import all of the files. So whether I click on King Kong or not, I click on import. If you watch here, I got 656 Atari games in here supposedly. So let's go ahead and play. Now when you click on play Atari, you'll get the list of all your ROMs. Now there's a ton here because I have a lot, but the first column is the 2600 ROMs. Okay, and lists all those in alphabetical order. The next one is the 7800. And it has all the ones that are improved. These other ones over here, they actually extend far off to the right, and you have to use your arrow keys to start looking at them. They're listed by publisher. So you want to take a look at what you might have some out there too. If they are Atari, they'll appear in both lists. So that's how you find what game you want to play. now that I teased you with that, I'm going to go back for a second, click down here in the question mark, and you'll see some information about the game and how to play it. Talks about game controllers. Best thing you should have is a Xbox 360 or even a wireless one. You can support up to 4 so you can play with your friends. We'll talk about a little bit there. He's confusing on the keys about P1, P2, P3, P4. It's about the keypads, your left and right keypads on the controller and how they're mapped. So you have to just sort of read through this. And by the way, according to one of the reviews on the store, works with PS2 controllers as well. Okay, if you're playing this on a tablet or even a Windows phone, you can use the mobile controls. So if you go up here to the gears, you'll see there's a whole bunch of settings. You turn it on and off, do it in black and white or color. The A/B switches are the things that were on the Atari console to go to different modes and all that as well. And there's certain things to talk about here, including you can reset the thing. But here's what I want to talk about is the controls. If you click on it, it enables left and right finger controls. And by the way, if you click on them, each time you click on them, they get wider and wider. You just do that until you like where they're at. That's probably a little bit too wide. So if you go there, you can just reset them and get them to where you're comfortable using them for the controls of your game. So here I am on my Toshiba tablet running the latest version of Windows 1709 with the touch controls enabled. And as you can see, everything's working just fine. Well, my gameplay sucks, but everything's working just fine. Now, obviously, I'm not going to play all the games. Okay, we're going to go back here. We're going to click on Play Atari Today, go back to the list, and take a look at some of the games that I want to demonstrate for you. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a blur because I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about which ones you can click on and how they play each game. But let's start out with Asteroids. And you'll see here if I clicked on the original Asteroids, it's in demo mode. But that's where I actually left off. It's not really a demo mode. It's where I left off because this game saves the last place you were in your game. So it remembers that. But by hitting certain control keys, I can decide which game I want to play. So if we click on Asteroids, you see, by the way, it's back to that. If I click on any other game that I was in the middle of, it'll do the same thing. If I click on 3D Asteroids, this is a newer version for the 7800. You'll see that everything works, sound and all that. And then there's a little rocket coming out of the back end of the spaceship, which there wasn't one before, a little blast coming out the back. That's the 7800. There's several different versions of that. When you press certain keys, you'll see that it's an input swap. That's the left and right controller sticks on the gamepad. But again, for those instructions that came with it, plus a couple that I did. Anyways, I'm not going to go into the strategy here, but that's Asteroids. If you notice though, if you click on the key on a trigger, on the right trigger, it goes to novice, medium, expert, whatever, and then it goes to two player. So I'm putting this little cheat sheet together to show you which keys do what. And again, it's in the description of the game. I really like this version because you can not only do you have one player, two player, but you have competition where you shoot against each other and can kill each other, or you even have team play where you can help each other blow up the asteroids. So that's Asteroids Deluxe on the 7800. Now just so you can see it, we're going to play the 7800 version of the Asteroids Deluxe, which is closer to the actual arcade version. Again, novice, intermediate, advanced, expert, and then you just have fun, go around, shoot up some asteroids. This particular version has these grouped aliens that are coming after us instead of just one spaceship, so you got to be a little careful when you shoot them, because once you shoot them, they break off into these little guys and they come right at you and try and kill you. So there's Asteroids Deluxe, basically. So that's basically Asteroids Deluxe, and again, that's the 7800 version here. That's the one under the 7800 that looks a lot more like the game. But we're going to go try some other things here. Some of these are pretty old. And oh, I know what we'll do. We'll go down and look here at Donkey Kong, the game we talked about earlier. Here's Donkey Kong in its original Atari format. And you can play a little bit of Donkey Kong here. I think it's the second level, actually, because I paused earlier and it returned me from where I was at. And the usual stuff that happens. Again, download the manual from Atari Age, and it'll give you all the instructions on how to use it, what controls to use, jump, and all that. So if we look around more on the menu and everything and find some of the things, there's Donkey Kong Jr., better stuff. Here's, if you're curious, here's the ET Extraterrestrial, and they have a fixed version, which is supposedly better. If you heard about the movie where the cartridge was buried, here's the actual game to play, and it's terrible. I'm not even going to play it, because I learned how to play it a bit years ago, but it was so bad. It was basically unplayable. And again, scroll down here. Here's Classic Missile Command, where you can go in here. By the way, there's like 102 games here that you can select from. But you go into here. The idea here is to block their incoming missiles with your own missiles that explode in front of them, and to do that incessantly until it gets faster and faster and harder, and they kill all your cities, and you're dead. For Missile Command, we go to the a classic of all classics probably. Come down here to Pac-Man. Again, there's better versions. This is the original one. Looks like hell. But you can play your Pac-Man here. Do what you want. Eat up all the dashes until you get to the pellets. And this old version, they're not even pellets, they're squares. So it tells you how old it is. You can play the original Pac-Man, not the one on Nintendo, but the one that was made for the Atari. And you can eat the ghosts and all that stuff. So that's one that's okay. But one of my favorites, probably close to being the favorite, if not its favorite, is Pitfall. Great adventure game. Here I'm in the second screen, but let's go ahead and restart. And you have to jump over logs. You can go subterranean as well. There's walls in the way from doing that all the way through. And then you have these logs that are trying to trip you up, like it just did me. And basically you can jump over that stuff. Ah, crap. And you can do this until you get somewhere about where you want to go. Here's where you can jump over the thing. Use a down pad key. Oops, I hit the wrong key here. But there's you have to learn your keys as well. Otherwise, you might be swinging here forever. Eventually, you learn how to jump off and do all the things. There's scorpions down below. Here's the alligators in the water. That's always a problem. By the way, while I'm here, there's a little trick that some people don't know. And you can go up here on these guys. You can go in here on these guys, and when you jump, scoot up to their head, and they won't kill you. You just go like that, stay on their head, and you'll do just fine. And obviously I'm out of practice. Okay, moving on to maybe one last game, Space Invaders. Here's the classic Space Invaders. Again, there's different expert levels and all that that you can do here. As you can see with the counter up there, you can go through a ton of games. I think this is the one with 100 and some variations of the game. Don't ask me what they are. So here we are up at 106, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, there. Okay, I'm on game variation 2. So all you do is you press your A button on your controller, your Atari, or excuse me, your Xbox controller, and you'll start your game. And this is classic Space Invaders. You simply try to eliminate the guys, and I'm getting caught up a little bit in here. By the way, there's certain techniques to this. You can go online and probably find some of these. Mine was to eliminate all the guys on the ends and columns, if I'm not mistaken. But however, that makes them run faster, as you can hear. So maybe it was the bottom rows first. I don't remember. But have fun with classic Space Invaders. More classic. We're going to go over here to Centipede. I'll use the 7800 version here. If you saw the movie Pixels with Adam Sandler, you'll know why I'm picking these, I guess. A lot of these were in here. And again, here's how you play Centipede. The idea here is to clear out these bottom mushrooms that block things before he gets down there. But once you do that, you also have to make sure, don't shoot him in the middle, because he splits into two. So you can go ahead and try and stop this booger from coming down and doing it. One thing a lot of people didn't realize, they just stayed down there. You can move you around on top of them, come back down, and shoot them down there, and get ahead of them that way. But anyways, there's Centipede. Oh, there's Centipede. Oh, I lied again. After Centipede, we're going to go to the next version of somewhere in here to get down to it. There's a better version of Donkey Kong here. You'll see that the graphics are greatly improved on the 7800. It's still pretty funny, but you'll see that the gameplay and the graphics definitely improve with each console release. So we look here and we'll go ahead and let those go by. And climb up here. Oh, I missed the hammer. So the idea here is up here, grab the hammer. Oh, I missed it. I didn't press the button, but there's the improved Donkey Kong. Let's take a look at any other ones we want to. Maybe some Double Dragon. Oh, I know. We'll do some Galaga or Gagalaga. Anyways, it's an advanced Space Invaders game. They come in really fast from the sides, and they have different patterns and attack patterns you have to account for. It's best to get them right here as they come rolling in before they get too many of them built up. And then after a while, they'll come down and attack you. If you're one of the few of us that's on Windows Mobile, it's currently still available. It's on this, so we do the same thing we did over there on the desktop. We search in here for 7800 is good enough, and if we search for that, we should find, and there it is, the emulators for mobile. You click on it, ready to go, and we can go ahead and download that. So there you have it. The 2600 emulator is buried inside the 7800 emulator in both the Windows Store and Windows Phone Store. Better get it before it disappears, because they did do that with the other emulator for the Nintendo. So go there, get your copy of it. By the way, this guy's not available anymore that I can find. So this is probably the last revision. But it works great. It should give you plenty of hours of old-time enjoyment.